Hello everyone, I want to apologize for the fact this video took like 2 weeks to make. I am very lazy when it comes at aiming for longer videos. For today's video, this is about Sakuatsu. There's going to be a part 2 and hopefully not 3 to this. I apologize for some typos or if some things don't make sense. More notes at the end. Enjoy. During the All Japan Youth Training Camp, most players there exchanged numbers. Now back in Atsumu's place, the TV was off and Osamu was out. No one to bother. Atsumu was sprawled onto his couch scrolling through his contacts. He didn't really have a goal, he was just trying to kill time until Osamu gets home. He scrolled through and through. Teammates, group chats, family, friends, girls, etc. Then his thumb landed on a specific contact. Weird guy Sakusa. A number he exchanged with months ago. He was from that training camp months ago. Atsumu stared at the name now, thumb hovering, the smile creeping onto his face before he could stop it. Without a second thought, he tapped Sakusa's contact. Private message. Pretend Sakusa's name is Weird Guy Sakusa for now. Haikyuu winking face. You still grumpy or have you cracked a little smile? He hit send. Immediate regret hit him like a slap. I'm a fucking idiot. He groaned, until he heard a buzz. He blinked and snatched up his phone. What? And who are you? Atsumu nearly choked. Ya no. Atsumu. Beautiful blonde hair. Training camp for the best Japanese youths. Too pretty to forget? Oh, I remember. And for your information, I'm not grumpy. Yes you are. Did ya block everyone that tried to befriend you or something? I thought we saved each other's contacts. Forgot. Atsumu scoffed aloud and grinned. What an idiot. Why'd you text me? I felt like talking to someone who wouldn't fake laugh at my jokes. So you admit your jokes aren't funny? Wow. Okay, rude. Exactly what I needed at this time. There was a long pause and Atsumu thought that was it. Too long? Atsumu stared at the screen, ready to throw the phone across the room. Funny? What? Funny? You think I'm funny? Wait, you laughed right. Kind of yet. But don't push your luck. I laughed because you're being stupid. Atsumu flopped back onto the couch, grinning at the ceiling before returning to his phone. Was Atsumu crazy? Maybe, but that was something he could figure out later. He looked back at his texts and grinned again. Maybe I should be stupid more often. Now that's really stupid. And you'd laugh right. At you. He. Still a win in my book. On the other side of the phone, Sakusa smiled. Just a tiny bit. Before Atsumu knew it, Osamu came home with dinner and a dead look in his eyes like he might just collapse on the floor. Anyways, it was nice talking to ya. Unfortunately my dickwad brother is home. I could see you having one. Want to talk again soon? Down for it? A long pause. Sure. I wouldn't mind. Great. Night. And don't miss me too much. Good night, Mia. About 2 nights later, Atsumu was lying flat on his back in bed, phone balanced on his chest, staring at the bottom of the top bunk like it owed him money. Atsumu desperately felt the need to call Sakusa again but he held back. He can't seem desperate because to him, that didn't seem charismatic and nonchalant. But I mean, he did say that he wouldn't mind talking to him again so why not give it a shot? He opened his phone and opened Sakusa's contact. Hey, you free? Define free? Not busy, out of touch of reality, and needs something to do. I think that went beyond the definition of free. You clearly didn't know what it meant so I defined it for you. You barely know it yourself. Atsumu rolled his eyes, but he couldn't stop the grin tugging at his lips. It was dumb, but it felt nice, being teased like that. He felt something in his stomach do somersaults but ignored it. He didn't even want to figure out why. Just wondering, do you maybe wanna call? 5 minutes or 50, no pressure now. Long pause. Sure, call me. Atsumu didn't need to be told twice and immediately hit call. Hi. His voice was soft and low. Hello, you surely sound like someone named Sakusa who's antisocial. The hell is that supposed to mean? It's easy enough to pinpoint. Sakusa scoffed. You know. Sakusa is too long to say. Is that really something you should be concerned about? Yes. I need a nickname for you. How about Omi? No. Omi it is then. I said no. Omi. Fine. Why'd you want to call me? Because I needed some noise. Samu is out again and I don't like when it's too quiet. It just doesn't feel comfortable for me. Sakusa is quiet for a moment. I kind of get it. This conversation then led to more topics off the list. Stories. Not about volleyball or school, or even teammates, it was about dumb things they did, or things that made them mad. As the call began to wind down, Sakusa hesitated. Hey You can call again if you want. I don't hate it, and I. Really? Oh my goodness, I might cry. Period. Well, now that I'm hearing your voice through the phone, I don't think I can get used to the silence after this ends. You're too sweet, Omi. I'm definitely calling you again. They said their goodbyes. Somewhere in Atsumu's gut knew he wasn't going to regret this. It's been a long time since Atsumu texted him that night, and they usually kept this texting or calling routine almost every day. They spoke every practice break on text, every night on call, every day. Atsumu stared at his screen, watching the 3 dots bounce from the left side of his screen. Any day now, Omi. Are you annoyed yet? Me? How would I be annoyed by my favorite person? I was trying to type slow so I could annoy the shit out of you. And also, how am I your favorite? We've only been talking for 2 months. Only 2 months? Actually? Felt like a year. Don't think about it too much, you might just die from brain overusage. Atsumu barked out a laugh and tossed his phone up before catching it on his stomach. It was weird. My brain works just fine, thank you. He didn't know when it happened, but lately, he looked forward to these conversations more than he wanted to admit. Sakusa's dry demeanor had become a kind of comfort. The quiet kind, that slipped into your bones without you noticing. Sakusa didn't have to know that Atsumu liked him. Maybe as a friend, maybe more. Haha. Did you smile again? There was a pause. Maybe. Why are you so obsessed about me laughing or smiling? I don't think we've seen each other a lot. Because, I've seen you back at that training camp, you always seemed so gloomy, no joy in the world. I have emotions, and you don't need to see them. Yes, I do. Atsumu thinks for a moment, he then gets an idea. It could be too direct, or it could be too creepy. But it was just a thought, right? Maybe a bit selfish. Atsumu just wants to see his face again. You know, if I'm so funny over text, I bet I can make you laugh in real life. How so? 5 tries. Give me 5 tries. 5 tries to prove you're funny? Yes, and for starters, have you ever been on a proper date? No. Let's call them smile dates, shall we? Atsumu stared at the screen, heart thudding. Too cheesy? Too much? Sakusa didn't answer right away. He wanted to scoff or be annoyed because the general idea of Atsumu was way out of his comfort zone. Atsumu is charming, bold, energetic, but then again, Sakusa hasn't smiled this much in a while. When Sakusa smiled, it was from the sudden glow from his phone when Atsumu wants to be Atsumu. Sakusa would never go on a date though, that's in his blood, for so he thought. That's stupid. The goal here is to make you go home after being hit with a little smile on your face. Even if it kills you, it'll be so worth it. Then no. Atsumu's grin widened, something tightening in his chest. Great. I'll send you details later, Omi read hard. Excuse me? Well, you heard me the first time, didn't you? I have 5 tries, 5 dates to make you smile like a normal human being. It's a win-win. I get entertainment, you get serotonin. Sakusa didn't reply. You're so unbearable. Says the one who spent 2 hours with me on the phone last night. And the night before that, also the night before that one. I know, you're more like in love with me. Atsumu waited for a typing bubble to appear, but nothing came up. Maybe he went too far. Atsumu pushed up from his bed nervously, yet the whole date concept maybe freaked Sakusa out. What do these dates involve? Atsumu stared at his phone, smiling in victory. So Omi is curious? I'm not agreeing. I'm asking what your low-level brain thinks counts as a date. It's made of all things you will certainly find fun, and if not, at least I'm here to get you in a better mood. And who told you that? It's a yes. I didn't even say anything. Too late now. 5 dates to make Omi smile, let the show begin. You are so embarrassing. Sakusa stared at the screen for a bit before all the fight in him escaped with an exhale. Just don't make it weird. No promises. Sakusa was really sure Atsumu was going to be the cause of his death one day. Atsumu was completely ready for it as well. 5 dates. God help him. Date number 1. About a week later, Sakusa found himself 3 hours away from home. Well, since he took a train. It was a Sunday afternoon where the sky was all sun but no heat. There was a breeze that could ruffle Sakusa's hair. He waited at the park where Atsumu told him to wait. As he waited, his mind drifted away for the 50th time wondering why he agreed to such a dumb idea. He then spotted Atsumu almost running towards him with his arms flailing like a plane. For Sakusa, he looked extremely nice. His outfit was clean and not too much, like he didn't try too hard. Basically like some stupid idiot stuck in a hot body, as one might say. Omiai. Sakusa took a deep breath and stood up, preparing for the absolute chaos that he has to deal with. Why me? Atsumu jogged up in front of him, maybe a bit too close. You came. I'm really sorry for all the trouble having to get here. I promise I will make this worth it. It's fine. Sakusa stared at him for a moment. You look like someone who lost a bet. Excuse you. I am the bet. Remember? 5 dates? Unfortunately. Atsumu grinned widely. So you trust me, right? No. Great. Atsumu fumbles around in his pocket until he pulled out a thin round object. A coin? Sakusa narrowed his eyes. Not happening. Yes, happening. Atsumu held the coin in between 2 fingers, keeping a safe distance so if the coin wouldn't end up rolling away somehow. Heads, we go to a boring, quiet place where you can judge me all you want while pretending to be a normal human. Tails, we go somewhere fun. Define fun? No need, just trust. Sakusa looked at him unamused. Come on, we agreed 5 dates, now you just have to rely on me. Sakusa kept a stern look but ultimately sighed in defeat. Fine. Atsumu squeaked in excitement. He flipped the coin dramatically as it spun in the air. Atsumu catches it before it hit the floor. Atsumu flipped it over onto the back of his hand and pulled his other hand away. Tails. Atsumu looked up at a quiet Sakusa. You are so gonna hate me. Atsumu said a bit too excitedly. 20 minutes later. Sakusa got a bit shaken up when seeing the big arcade sign and hearing loud noises coming from the inside. He didn't like large crowds. Noisy ones were no better. But Atsumu didn't have to know that. Sakusa just wanted to make him happy. Seriously? You'll survive. Probably. Atsumu tugged him towards the entrance. The lights were dim and all sorts of vibrant colors surrounded the place. There were a variety of sounds coming from machines, piopla jiggling and screaming, as well as a smell of popcorn, maybe a taste of a past childhood. Atsumu had his arm wrapped around Sakusa. So first, basketball, then air hockey, or maybe even DDR. Whack-a-mole seems pretty fun for a first date too. No. Perfect. To anyone with eyes who were looking at Sakusa, he looked like he wanted to just get out of there. But within Sakusa, he was holding a secret at that exact moment. In reality, he didn't hate Atsumu's enthusiasm as much as he pretends to. Something about him savoring the words and touch from Atsumu. The first 10 minutes were about the same level as torture. Loud music, kids screaming, overstimulating lights, everything uncomfortable. But then he heard a bang. Atsumu had missed the shot so badly that the basketball bounced off the scoreboard on top. Sakusa swore he saw a crack. Sakusa snorted. He really didn't mean to. He tried to cover it with a cough but Atsumu obviously didn't buy it. Matter of fact, you would have thought he heard a marriage proposal with the way his head turned to him so quick. Oh my god. Sakusa turned away, his hand clenched into a fist and over his mouth. You imagined it. No, I didn't. You definitely laughed. It wasn't a laugh. Even if it was, you still need to see me smile to prove your point. Atsumu whined in his face. Finny. And don't push your luck either. They then continued to play. The whack-a-mole was a bit competitive. Given they were trying to get higher scores than each other, it was really rare to see Sakusa so focused and eager, almost like he was happy. After, Sakusa gave Atsumu a look that threatened him not to tell anyone about that side of him. The air hockey table led to Sakusa forgetting all about being some stoic guy, still quiet, but maybe too quiet. Atsumu was very talkative, cussing him out the whole time. Parents weren't pleased, but to the naked eye, it's clear that both felt that they were having fun. Sometime between games, Sakusa had forgotten all about the coin flip, the smell, and the noise. It's not like he was smiling. But it wasn't like he was frowning either. The date ended with iced coffee and watching the sun slowly go down. Atsumu was halfway through a story where he suddenly stopped and looked over at Sakusa, which was staring at him but quickly looked away. Atsumu laughed softly and nudged him softly with his shoulder. I know I'm pretty, no need to be shy. You know, girls love me for it anyways. Yeah, whatever. Atsumu looked up at the sky and smiled. Hey, don't worry about coming here on train again. I know it's a long way from your place. What? It's fine. But what are you telling me, to go walk my ass over here? Atsumu laughed if not for the millionth time. No, I mean, I'll go there myself. I'm the planner here. Sakusa shot him a surprised look, like he was crazy. Atsumu. No excuses. I dragged you here. It's my duty to be a good date. Sakusa stayed silent before letting out a breath he didn't know he was holding. Silence sat heavy between them. But it was a type of silence that anyone could get used to. It was something comfortable. Atsumu took a small sip of his drink. One down. Sakusa turned his head slightly. 4 more to go. Keeping score? Keeping track. Once Atsumu looked away, the ends of Sakusa's mouth curved upward. It was barely there, but you could make out a smile if you squinted. When Sakusa got home later that night, a notification appeared on his phone from Atsumu. I hope you're ready for date 2. I promise it'll be worth your precious time. Bold of you to assume my time is precious. But I'll be waiting. Sleep well, Omi. Sweet dreams, Tsumu. When Sakusa hit send, he immediately threw his phone somewhere on the couch and ran to take a shower to prevent him from falling to the floor with a red face. When Atsumu saw his new nickname, he nearly choked. It made his heart race, and the thought of his voice saying it made it race even more, if that was even possible. 4 dates left, and Atsumu wasn't going to waste a single one. Date number 2. The next weekend, Atsumu took a train to Sakusa City. It was long, but if it meant to see Sakusa smile, then it was worth it. It was date number 2, meaning the stakes were officially raised. He heard Sakusa laugh, and that was enough for him to keep going. When he arrived, he spotted Sakusa, his hands in the pockets of his jacket, wearing a mask. Atsumu's eyes gleamed with joy and waved at him with a big, stupid smile on his face, running up to him happily. Sakusa didn't wave back. Figures. Ready? Yeah, we can just take a cab. Come on. Will do. Atsumu didn't want this date to have an energetic environment, something like that, but what he wanted to do was to go to a place which was quiet, something that'll connect with Sakusa in a way. So when Sakusa stepped out the cab to see a huge art museum, he looked at Atsumu surprised. A public place that requires silence. And here I thought you'd be bringing me to a place that has lights that makes anyone overstimulated. Are you sure you'll survive here? Well, you have no faith in me at all. Not at all. They walked inside. The gallery had a feeling of old money and everything around them seemed so complex, but also modern. It was the kind of place where footsteps were the loudest part of the whole thing, whispers being heard from all around like an unspoken rule. Atsumu put his hands in his pocket and twitched his arm nearest to Sakusa, signaling him to start walking around. Maybe Atsumu wasn't so good at signaling, because Sakusa held his arm instead. What are you doing? You signaled me to hold your arm. What? Oh my gosh. Atsumu might die from love then and there. He immediately spluttered out words but got back his voice. I mean, hold my hand or something. Oh, okay. Atsumu held out his hand and Sakusa interlocked his hand with his. What was Sakusa doing? He doesn't usually act like this, but he can't resist the urge to pull away. He's not this oblivious, he's not this soft. But with Atsumu, he's starting to become the opposite from what he is. They wandered to the abstract paintings, observing them closely, what art is meant for. Needless to say, neither of them understood what the hell it was supposed to be. Atsumu leaned close into Sakusa's ear. Is it just me or does it look sorta like a sad eggplant? Yeah, great way to get us kicked out, dumbass. You smiled. Did not. Did too. I can feel smugness behind your mask. You don't know anything, you're too stupid to know. Well, I do. How? Telepathy. Not real. Atsumu chuckled, not too loud, something genuine, with a hint of love. They stood in front of a painting. It was just big strokes of the colors of anger. It was calming in a way, weird. Atsumu squinted like he was trying to make a personal name for it, also trying to run away from the name idea. Angry box potatoes. Thoughts? Chaos. I see. I was thinking more. Never mind. Your idea was better. Sakusa turned to look at him. Atsumu grinned shamelessly. You're pretty stupid. And you're pretty mean. Thanks, I try. Omi. Atsumu whined a bit too loudly, making people look their way. Don't do that again, especially if I'm holding hands with you. Atsumu stuck his tongue out playfully. When Atsumu looked away to look for another piece to look at, Sakusa stared at him with warmth in his eyes. After walking for a bit, they eventually got to sit down on a bench, somewhere in the center, meant for a debrief of everything. They sat close, hands fallen to their sides. 30 minutes ago when Atsumu wanted a picture of Sakusa in front of something. This place is something else. Reminds me of you. Cold and pretentious? That's rude. I mean, like it's all controlled and still. It's peaceful in a way too. It still doesn't compare to you though, you're great. Sakusa blinked, he looked away. Silence filled the small space that they shared in their heads. Neither of them said anything. But Atsumu didn't need Sakusa to say anything. When they left the art gallery, the cold air that could make someone all stuffy hit them. Besides that, it wasn't silence that hit them. I think I saw a smile back there. I swear I did. You're almost there, Omi. One step closer to becoming human. Oh, shut up. No denial? I'm so right. I hate you. They both knew it wasn't true. They both knew that they didn't and never will hate each other. When they got back to the station, Atsumu stopped in the entryway to look at Sakusa. 2 down, Omi, you're gonna miss this challenge when it ends, huh? Sakusa tilted his head down, his eyebrows furrowing. I'll take that as a yes. Atsumu? Sakusa said an inch louder than usual. Period. Today was nice. Thanks for everything. Atsumu's eyes widened in surprise, but his expression slowly relaxed as he smiled. You say that as if the world is gonna end. When Sakusa was about to speak, Atsumu looked at the time and panicked. Shit, 5 minutes before the train's here. I'll see you, K. Good night, Omi. I'll text ya. Atsumu punched his shoulder and jogged off. When he left, Sakusa's world faded to white, where he was the only one there in that space. Atsumu's voice faded in his mind, as well as his face, his touch. If the world ever ended, then this is the best life I ever lived. And without Atsumu looking, no squinting, no telepathy either. Sakusa smiled. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully part 2 will be out in a good matter of time. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you guys could leave me some ideas in the comments for about anything, that would be great. Don't forget to like and subscribe.